Hey guys. Yesterday I kind of forgot to do about the fourth book, but I guess I'll do 4 and 5 today. I started reading the fourth book when I met my friend Jessica. She became my best friend in high school after that because she had been reading a Harry Potter magazine, and I'm like, "Oh my God, you like Harry Potter too?" She's like, "Yeah," and we hit it off right there. And so I didn't have the fourth book, so she let me borrow it, and I gotta say, it took me forever to read it. I wasn't used to reading a book that big, so it was it really took me a while. But when I finally finished it, it was amazing. I loved it, and I mean, I think that Christmas I had gotten um, the first 4 books for Christmas, and it I loved it. It was awesome. And when the movie came out, a few things about the movie I just made me sad because they didn't have Blinky in the movie. And I loved Blinky. I mean, she was a little drunk house elf later on, but she was a good little house elf, and I liked her, and I'm sad that they didn't put her in the movie. And I'm sad that they didn't show Hermione's um, help the elf program thing, like with the buttons, and she would leave knitted hats and everything in the Gryffindor common room for the other house elves. And that just, that was part of the story. And I mean, it wasn't a big part, but they left it out. And that just made me sad. And the part in the Triwizard Tournament when they're going through the maze, they didn't have challenges. I mean, they went through the maze, and basically, in the movie, basically the only things that bothered them in the movie were the walls attacking and the wind. I mean, that made it really intense. That made it amazing and intense. But I mean, they left out the spectacle of the Sphinx asking the riddle and Harry having to answer it. And I didn't know what the answer. Like when I first read the riddle in the book, I tried to figure it out before it was answered, and it took me forever. But I'm sure most people would have just skipped ahead and read it. But so when I went and saw the movie, I was upset that Blinky wasn't in it, and I was amazed, ecstatic, excited that David Tennant was in it because he is one of my favorite British actors. At first, I didn't realize that who David Tennant was at first, because I learned who he was through the show Doctor Who, and that show hadn't started coming on yet. So when I went back and watched the fourth Harry Potter movie with my friends or on ABC Family, um, that's when I realized it was David Tennant who was playing Mad Eye Moody. And one of my favorite scenes in the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire movie was the part where Mad Eye Moody transforms Malfoy into a weasel, and just that part made me laugh so hard. It was one of the funniest parts in the book and the movie. So that's my memories for Goblet of Fire. And now I guess I'll move on to Order of the Phoenix. That book, I went to the midnight release of that book at the mall, and I dressed up, but I didn't dress up as like a certain character. I had a little purple wizard cloak or witch cloak. It was purple. It had spider webs on it, design, and it had a hood, and I had a witch hat and everything. And I went, and they had a costume contest, like the best character costume, and they asked who I was, and I just looked at them. I'm like, I'm a witch. And I didn't win, sadly. I think somebody dressed as Trelawney won, but I remember it was a really awesome costume. So I didn't win the costume contest, and I did get the book, and I got a bunch of cool stickers, and it was really awesome night. I was really happy that my dad let me go. And I started reading the book the next day, and it did take me a while to read this one, but it was fun. The fifth movie, I didn't go see it at midnight. I went, I think, that same weekend though, and it followed the book pretty closely, and I didn't like the fact in the movie. I mean, I know they made it work out, but I didn't like the fact in the movie where Cho became the snitch. I mean, like, she was the one that told because they put the Veritaserum in her drink and she told how to get into the room of requirement. And that was just kind of sad. I mean, it kind of upset me. And I mean, I guess they had to do it in the movie, but I didn't really like that part. And one of the parts I did like was where Fred and George during the exams, the fireworks and the flying on the brooms, and that was just a really cool part. It was like that was the most magical part in the movie, I think. Um, Also, one of the things I liked about the fifth movie was the fact that it showed Neville as being more than just the little bumbling kid that he used to be. I mean, in the fourth movie, they showed him growing up a little bit, and they replaced Dobby giving Harry the Gillyweed with Neville giving Harry the Gillyweed, giving Neville a bigger part. But I realized in the fourth movie that Neville was actually my favorite character, because he develops more than the others. And in the fifth movie, we saw his parents and we learned what happened to him. And Bellatrix Lestrange is who breaks out of prison. We learn that she is the one who tortured his parents and sent them to St. Mungo's, and they don't even know who Neville is, really. And Neville absolutely hates Bellatrix for that. So that was, I mean, you learn a lot about Neville in this one. And Luna Lovegood, this is also the first movie she's in, and she was pretty cool. I thought she was neat the first time I saw her. She was kind of spaced out, off in her own little world, and everybody called her Loony. I laughed at that, but she was a neat little character. And when they go to the Ministry of Magic to get the prophecy, um, it really pissed me off that Sirius got pushed into that veil, or was hit by the spell and fell into the veil. And I mean, I honestly thought that there was a way he would come back. I truly believe that he was not dead. He couldn't be dead. He's Sirius Black, Harry's godfather. And he didn't have a huge role in, like, he wasn't there as long as the other characters. And it really royally pissed me off that J. Rowling got rid of him. And it just, I mean, why would you get rid of a character like that? It's just ridiculous. So, I mean, I guess that's my experience with the fourth and fifth book. And I'll be back tomorrow with the sixth book experience. Bye.